Hello, welcome to class. My name is Nora, and this is week 2 of our backbending series. So, week 1, we looked at the specifics of Cobra and upward facing dog, some of the first few poses that you come across in the Vinyasa yoga practice. And today we are building up towards camel pose, Ustrasana, using many of those same skills. If you weren't with us for week 1, that's okay. This works as a standalone class as it is. Let's get started laying on our backs today. Stretch the legs out long. Let the hands get heavy at your side bodies. Head heavy. Take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. And begin to notice what you're carrying in the body today. And bring some attention to how the breath is flowing in the body and how the thoughts are flowing through the mind. On your next exhale, get fully empty. Pull the navel down towards the spine. Squeeze the air out. Breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold full. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold empty. Inhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold full. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get empty. And breathe in for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, we'll start to add a syllable count, a little bit of a mantra meditation to this count. So, first syllable is sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Let's get empty together. Push the air out. Breathe in for 4. Sa, ta, na, ma. Hold full. Exhale, sa, ta, na, ma. Inhale, sa, ta, na, ma. Exhale, sa, ta, na, ma. Couple of rounds in your own time. You can speak the syllables out loud, or you're welcome to just think them in your head. These syllables are part of the Satnam meditation, and they represent the cycle of life. Sa represents the infinite, everything that has been or will be. Ta represents our individual experience of that infinite. Na represents death or the transformation of consciousness. And ma represents the uniting of our individual consciousness back with the infinite. A couple more rounds. And as we cycle through these changes of life, the breath remains constant, in through the nose and out through the nose, smooth, long breaths. And the same applies to our practice. No matter how the intensity of the physical postures changes, the breath stays smooth and even, carrying us through from one cycle to the next. Take one more big breath in, fill all the way up. Clearing breath out through the mouth. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch. Exhale, hug the right knee into the chest. Give a little squeeze. Big breath in. Exhale, pull the navel down, lift the head, neck, and chest up off the floor. Let's stretch the arms forward in space. Palms turn up as you're reaching forward. You can keep your left leg grounded or you can float it off the earth for a little bit more effort here. Big breath in. Pull the navel down, maybe lift the shoulder blades up off the floor, maybe nose taps the knee. Inhale, switch the legs. Exhale, navel down, lift the shoulders. Inhale, switch. Exhale, lift. Inhale, switch. Exhale, lift. Couple rounds on your own. Waking the core up right away. Last round. Release, left knee hugs into the chest lightly. Bring the right knee to meet it. Let's start to rock and roll on the spine. A couple of rocks here so that you're massaging the entire length of the spine from the tailbone all the way up through the cervical spine. And on the next rock, we'll cross the ankles, plant the palms, roll over the knees, and meet in tabletop. Take the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, all 10 fingers spread wide. Inhale, cow pose. Drop the belly, pull the heart forward, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale, push the floor away, round the spine, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, cow pose, heart forward, shoulders back, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, press and round. Open the back of the heart to the sky. A couple rounds in your own time. I want you to notice if you can make the breath last longer than the movement. So the breath begins before you start the movement. Yeah, and the breath ends after you've found stillness. Let's add one more detail in here. I want you to take this motion from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of the head. So one of the skills we're focusing on today is distributing the work evenly through the entire spine. So come to a neutral spine, and we're just doing the same motion again, cat and cow. As you inhale, point your tailbone up to the sky. Drop the hip points, drop the belly, and then pull back with the palms to reach the heart forward. After those collarbones have broadened, lift the chin, lift the gaze. And then we'll flip it and reverse it back the same way we came. As you exhale, tailbone turns down. And then the navel lifts. And then the upper back rounds. And then the shoulders spread apart and the chin drops to the chest. Couple rounds like that. Noticing if you can undulate the motion of the spine from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. Moving piece by piece, but also learning how those pieces work together. 2 more rounds, cat and cow. And last round. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips to downward facing dog. In this first down dog, bend your knees, pedal the feet out, pressing one heel to the floor and then the other. Allow the hips to sway from side to side and just notice how the upper back is feeling. How are the shoulders sitting on the back body? Does this feel like a lot of weight to put on the shoulders right away, or are you feeling comfortable here? And start to warm up the spine a little bit more. On your inhale, lift the heels. Lift the hips, you're high on your toes, and then leading with the back of the heart, round forward, almost like you're finding that rounding of cat pose. You're finding it through the spine as you shift the weight forward to the palms and the shoulders stack over the wrists. Find a strong plank pose, lift your kneecaps up, drag the heels to the back of the room, and then bend the knees to hover just an inch above the earth, almost like you're in a hovering tabletop position. Big breath in. Push through the palms, send the hips back towards the heels. Knees are still hovering for a hovering child's pose. And then very slowly, hips up and back to downward facing dog. Let's match that breath to movement. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips, lead with the back of the heart and roll forward to plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees, hovering tabletop, push it back to hovering child's pose, and then all the way back to down dog. Inhale, plank, roll forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hips to heels, all the way back to down dog. 2 more. Inhale, roll forward like a wave crashing forward onto the shore. Exhale, push back like a wave receding back into the ocean. Last round. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your hips. Exhale, tiptoe walk the feet up behind the wrists. At the top of the mat, take your feet a little bit wider than you normally would. So wider than hip width, maybe even towards mat width apart here. Bend the knees, let the torso drop heavy, grab opposite elbows. Shift the weight from one foot to the other so that the torso starts to sway and you can feel the vertebrae in the spine decompress. And the next time that you swing over to the right, start to peel your left elbow up towards the sky. Push through the left foot and then sweep the elbows all the way up to the sky so you're standing up nice and tall. Exhale, drop it over to the left, completing the circle as you sink down towards the bottom. Inhale, lift it up to the right. Exhale, sink to the left. Inhale, right. And exhale, left. Let's go the opposite way. Inhale, left. Stand tall at the top. Exhale, melt to the right. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Release your bind. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, roll up to standing one piece at a time. Head and arms are heavy. Still focusing on that articulation through the spine, even as we're rolling up to the top of our standing position. As you reach the top, step the big toes to touch. Roll the shoulders back and down. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms up overhead, lengthen side bodies, armpits, wrists, and fingertips. Exhale, fold flat back to the earth. Little bend in the knees as you reach the bottom. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the heart forward. Hands can come to the shins if you like a little bit more support here. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Take a big breath in at the top of your plank. Exhale, bend the knees, hips back to the heels, send it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, hips to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips, look forward this time. Exhale, bend the knees deeply, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, melt to the earth. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center and down to the side bodies. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach and rise. Exhale, get empty as you fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank. And bend the knees, hips back to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, roll forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Push the hips back to the heels, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, send the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip, folding the heel towards the opposite sitting bone. Take some circles through the foot and some circles through the knee, getting into the ankle and the hip joint, noticing if anything feels wonky or out of sorts in these parts of the body. On your next inhale, find three-legged dog, square off the hips, lengthen the leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the right foot up between the palms, drop the back knee down to the floor, untuck the back toes. Inhale, rise to your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly like I am, you'll walk the right foot over to the right side of the mat slightly. That'll give you a little bit more stability. And then hug the inner thighs together. So imagine that you're straddling a plank of wood that's running lengthwise down your mat. And you're trying to get the inner thighs of both legs to touch the sides of that plank. So you're finding that strong leg engagement here. Carry that engagement up into the belly. So the navel's lifting up into the spine. And then you can bring the hands under the ribs here. And as you exhale, encourage those ribs to pull in and down, closing the rib cage off. Big breath in, reach the arms up without letting the rib cage open. Exhale, cactus the arms and feel the shoulder blades slide together. Nice. Now, one of our big skills that we're focusing on throughout this entire series is creating a safe and sometimes this happens when you're teaching a class. You run out of words to say. All right. One of the main things we're trying to do in this series is create a back bend that is both safe and maintaining the integrity of all of the parts that are included in that back bend. So first step here is to just bring the shoulder blades together. Feel them gliding together on the back body. And we're going to lean back onto the support of those shoulder blades. So a little lean back through the upper body. Pull the ribs down so the rib cage is closed off and you're not hinging at that point in the body. Last step here is to allow the front lunge to deepen by letting the hips slide forward and down slightly. Navel still lifting, rib cage down, and then lean back a little bit more into this baby back bend. Big breath into the collarbones. Ribs down, navel, and lean back. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Navel lifts, reach. Exhale, plant the palms. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Step forward to the top of your mat into a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, bow down, get empty. Inhale, mountain pose. Rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. This time, squeeze the glutes, push the hips forward as you lean back under the support of the shoulder blades. Inhale, mountain. Lift the navel, keep the glutes squeezing, back body and front body equally long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Take a breath in to push the floor away, creating a strong upper back. Option to drop the knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Chin to the mat, point the toes. Push the shoelace side of your feet down so much that the kneecaps lift up. And then push your pubic bone down, lift your navel up off the floor. A little squeeze to the glutes. Big breath in, baby cobra, peel the chest up. As you exhale, hover the hands next to your chest so that you feel the shoulder blades really working and gliding together on the back body. Inhale, reach the arms forward in space. Feel the ribs pushing down into the earth. As you exhale, sweep the arms back, lift the chest just a little bit higher, feet stay grounded. Inhale, reach forward, keep the ribs pulling down. Exhale, swim it back, lift the chest. One more, inhale, reach. Exhale, swim and lift. Inhale, release the hands, release the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, rise up and back to downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip. Circle through the foot and through the knee, getting into ankle and hip joint. Notice if this side feels different or mostly the same. On your next breath in, square off the hips, extend the leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step the left foot through between the palms. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, rise, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Anjaneyasana. Left foot walks over to the left if you need some more stability. Hug inner thighs, lift the navel, ribs pull down and in. Big breath in, lift up off of the bowl of the pelvis. Exhale, cactus the arms, shoulder blades glide together. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, lean back as the hips slide forward and down. One more breath in here. See if you can find a little bit more lean back, keeping the ribs tucked in. Inhale, reach back up to the sky, neutral spine. Exhale, plant the palms, tuck the back toes, step forward into a halfway lift, inflate. Exhale, get empty. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus, baby back bend, hips and thighs forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, get empty and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Lower all the way to the floor, option to use the knees. Chin to the mat, shoelace side of the feet to the mat, feet down, kneecaps up, pubic bone, navel up. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, hover the hands. Option to interlace the hands behind the back body. Now, if this is not accessible to you, you can always just stretch the arms towards the back of the room. Palms turn in, try to touch the pinkies together. If you've got that bind, inhale, pull the fists back, lift the chest up. Exhale, feet firm, navel lifts. Inhale, peel the chest up and back just a little bit more. Exhale, release. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your hips, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Let the hips go low, reach the arms up. As you exhale, rock the weight back into the heels and then find some sit to your sitting bones. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the chest, look up. And exhale, just a little bit deeper through the hips. Inhale, lift high onto the toes, heels rise up. Exhale, slowly sit down to a toe stand, hips sit down to the heels, knees pointing directly forward. Inhale, open the knees towards the sides of the mat, spinning on the balls of the feet. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, lift your heels up, connect the knees to the backs of the triceps. As you exhale, hug everything in towards the center line, so the knees and elbows hug in. Look forward. Inhale, option to take crow pose. Maybe you lean forward, putting 80% of the weight in the hands. Maybe the toes get light. Maybe they hug up towards the hips. Take another big breath in, dome the upper back. Exhale, step or jump back. We meet in plank pose. Inhale, push up top of a plank, right leg rises. Exhale, keep the navel firm, push the floor away. Inhale, three-legged dog, send the right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the right foot through between the palms. Inhale, slow, steady rise to high lunge. No rush to get to the top of the mat, or rather to the top of your high lunge. Same idea as in low lunge here. You can step the right foot over towards the right side of the mat if you want a little bit more stability here. Deep bend in the front knee. Put a little bend in your back knee, just a little bit. And then pull the navel back into the spine, so much that you feel the low back move back in space, just a little bit more. Big breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, open the arms parallel to the floor, palms face the front of the room. Inhale, turn the palms up and lift the chest up to the sky. Exhale, twist right. Arms stay open wide. You're just swiveling from the navel up through the crown of the head. And as soon as we come into a twist like this, we tend to lose the lunge in the front knee. So take a deeper lunge there, knee stacks over the front heel. Make the back leg straight and strong. Inhale, expand your wingspan, fingertips reaching in opposite directions. Exhale, get a little bit deeper in the front lunge. Inhale, hands to heart center, prayer. Exhale, prayer twist, hook the left elbow outside of the right knee. Option to drop the back knee down here if you like a little bit more support. From here, work your left elbow a little bit deeper over that right thigh, almost as if you could work the knee all the way up towards the armpit. And then find some height to your left hip crease. You can't lift that left hip too high. At the same time, sit down through the right thigh and then apply some pressure to your palms. Make sure right elbow is stacked directly over left elbow. Take another breath, reach through the crown of the head. And exhale, get empty. Think warrior two because that's where we're going. Drive the front foot down. Inhale, left arm circles all the way up to the sky, pulling you back into warrior two. Back heel spins down. Nice. If you didn't get that transition, that's okay. We've got another opportunity on the other side. From your back thigh towards the back of the room, let your front knee drift forward in space. Strong arms, gaze over the front middle fingertip. Breathe in. A little bit heavier in the hips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Take it up and back. Lengthen right ribs, right lung. Exhale, cartwheel the palms to the earth. Slide the right foot back. Inhale, roll forward on the toes, look forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Bend the elbows back until they kiss the ribs. Inhale, push the floor away. Send the heart forward as the toes reach back. Upward facing dog. Exhale, the core lifts the hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, sitting bones back and down. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the armpits. Exhale, rock the weight back into the heels. Inhale, lift high onto the toes. Exhale, slowly lower to a toe stand, keeping those heels as high as you can as you lower. Inhale, open the knees. Exhale, plant the palms. If crow pose is not in your practice, you're welcome to head to plank pose and hold. We'll meet you there. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, connect the knees to the backs of the triceps. Hug everything in towards the center line. Inhale, look forward. Push the floor away. Dome the upper back. Lean forward, lean forward. Maybe those toes get light. One more breath. Exhale, step, step, or jump back. Inhale, push up, top of a plank. Float the left leg. Exhale, navel in. Inhale, three-legged dog. Send the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Left foot steps through between the palms. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, get yourself sorted here. Left foot can walk to the left. Deep lunge through the front knee. Little bend of the back knee. Breathe and lift the heart. Navel in, ribs down. One more, reach up tall. Open the arms parallel to the earth, palms face the front of the room. Inhale, flip the palms, turn the chest up to the sky. Exhale, open twist to the left, swiveling from the navel. Right hand reaches to the top of the mat, left hand reaches back. Inhale, make your back leg straight and strong. Exhale, deeper lunge in the front knee. Inhale, open the arms wider. Exhale, navel back. Maybe the left shoulder peels back slightly. Last breath in. Hands to heart center. Exhale, prayer twist. Right elbow lands outside of the left knee. Maybe you drop this back knee down to steady yourself and find some support. If you're feeling good, you'll tuck the back toes and lift that back knee again. And then drive the elbows into the knee and the knee into the elbow. There's tension in that connection between the two parts of the body. A lot of lift to the right hip. A lot of sit down through the left thigh. Breathe in. Get empty, navel back. Last breath here. Get empty. Think warrior two. Inhale, push through the left heel. Right arm circles around. Back heel spins down and land. And breathe through the nose. Heavy through the hips. Keep the lunge in the front thigh. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lengthen left ribs, left lung. Exhale, cartwheel the palms to the floor. Step back. Option to take a vinyasa or skip it. Lower halfway or all the way, knees or no knees. Inhale, broaden the heart into Cobra or up dog. Strong legs, strong arms. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let it go. Inhale, float your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the right tricep. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Give that tricep a little tap. Inhale, lift it up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the left tricep. Keep pushing the floor away. Try to keep the shoulders equidistant from the floor. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the right foot up between the palms. Inhale, high lunge, slow rise. Exhale, get settled. Inhale, grow tall off the bowl of your pelvis. Exhale, open the arms wide, palms face the front of the room. Inhale, flip the palms up, turn the chest up. Exhale, open twist to the right. Drop the back hand to the back thigh. Inhale, Exalted Warrior. So center of the chest starts to turn back towards the front of the room. Back arm is strong. Shoulder blades are hugging together on the back body. And then pull the ribs down as you deepen the lunge in the front knee. One more reach up and back. Exhale, power lunge. Hinge the chest forward, sweep both hands back along the side bodies. Now we're not resting on this front thigh. You're lifting the navel up and in to support you off of it. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together. I like to turn my palms down and try to touch the pinkies behind my back. They're not going to touch, and that's okay. We're just looking for that squeeze of the shoulder blades. Inhale, peel the back foot up until just the big toe is touching down. Navel stays lifted. Hug the right hip crease in. Inhale, warrior three. Back foot leaves the floor. Shoulder blades are still squeezing. A lot of lift through the left thigh. Breathe in. Navel in. One more breath. Get empty. Inhale, one leg Tadasana. Arms sweep up to the sky. Left knee comes into the chest. Flex the left toes and find your drishti, your gazing point ahead of you. And when you feel steady, pull the navel back and then lift your left knee into the space you just created. From here, open the knee to the left. Tree pose, vrikshasana. So you can plant the leg wherever it feels most comfortable for you. You can kickstand the toes, heel on the ankle if you like. You can take the foot up onto the calf, or maybe you take the foot all the way up to the inner thigh. Depends on what feels good for you. Try not to put pressure on the side of the knee. So somewhere above or below that knee joint. Keep your gaze steady. Hands can come to heart center or rest on the hips. Whatever feels good for you. Breathe. Squeeze the glutes. Push your groin forward in space, and then try opening your knee towards the back of the room just a little bit more. I'm going to add on here. If you want a little bit more, you're welcome to take it. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring the arms to parallel to the floor. Inhale, flip the palms up, turn the chest up. Exhale, twist to the right, swiveling above the navel. Left knee is still opening to the back of the room as the chest is trying to turn towards the back of the room on the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left foot steps to the back of the mat, hands to the mat. Right foot steps back as well. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, heels drop to the left. Inhale, right arm high. Heels can stack or stagger depending on what feels good for you. Inhale, hover the right foot. Bend the knee, kickstand the toes behind you. Inhale, wild thing. Right arm reaches to the top of the mat as you push through the feet and lift the hips and heart higher. Big breath in. Exhale, right palm to the earth. Option to take a vinyasa, or maybe you just lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe through the nose. And out through the nose. Let's get the other side. Inhale, float the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Don't let the left shoulder dip. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the left foot up between the palms. Inhale, slow rise, high lunge. Exhale to find your footing through the legs and the hips. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, arms go parallel. Inhale, palms turn up, lift the heart. Exhale, twist left. Drop the back hand to the back thigh. Inhale, right arm high for Exalted Warrior. Lift up, lengthening from the pubic bone all the way up through the right fingertips. Exhale, deeper lunge in the front knee, ribs pull down. One more breath. Exhale, power lunge, hinge forward, sweep the hands back. Now we're priming for Warrior 3 here, so squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the navel, really active back leg, left hip hugging in. Inhale, peel the back foot up until just the big toes touching. Warrior 3. Back foot leaves the floor, flex the toes and turn them in slightly. On the inhale, lift the chest by squeezing the shoulder blades and then lift the front of the right thigh. As you exhale, navel in, ribs down. One more. Get empty. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, right knee up into the chest, arms rise. If you step out and step back in, that's okay too, no worries. Find your drishti. Don't look at the floor because it sinks the chest. Look forward and look up. As you exhale, navel back. Right knee tighter to the chest, right toes are flexing. Breathe in. Open the knee to the right, tree pose, vrikshasana, planting the right foot wherever it makes sense on the left leg. Create some tension in that connection. So drive the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Little squeeze to the glutes, right leg opens towards the back of the mat. And if you're swaying like I am, that's normal, that's natural. If you need to step out, you can always step out. If you want more, we'll add on just a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, arms parallel to the earth. Inhale, palms turn up, chest turns up. Exhale, rotate to the left. Left shoulder is peeling back, right knee is peeling back. A lot of core engagement. Navel into the spine and then up into the rib cage. One more breath. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps back, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back, plank pose. Drop the heels to the right. Inhale, left arm high. Side plank, Vashisthasana. Breathe in, left leg hovers. Exhale, bend the knee, kickstand the toes. Inhale, wild thing, lift the hips, lift the heart, reach through the left arm. Exhale, left palm down. Option to take this last vinyasa of the practice or skip it. We meet with the hips up and back in downward facing dog on your next exhale. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Blow it out through the lips. In through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your hips, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step, or hop to a seat at the top of the mat. We land in the Navasana boat pose. We're going to do a little bit of core work before we come up to our peak pose, Ustrasana. Hug the inner thighs together, hug the inner ankles together, reach the arms forward if you're feeling good. Big breath in, lift the heart. Exhale, pull the navel back. Maybe lift the feet. Exhale. Inhale, half boat. So glue the low back to the floor. Heels are hovering, shoulders are hovering. Navel is still pulling down. Big breath in. And we're rocking the boat from side to side. Shifting from one side of the low back to the other. It helps to keep the inner thighs and inner ankles hugging together and to keep the arms reaching forward so the shoulder blades stay off the floor. We're here for last 10, 9, stick with me for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Ooh. Let's take a full body stretch. Interlace the palms, push the palms towards the back of the mat. Exhale, knees into the chest. Rock up to a seat. Cross the ankles, roll over the feet, and we'll meet standing on the knees. We'll come into our peak pose for today's class. So take the knees about hip width apart, maybe a little bit more narrow than hip width apart. And then rather than trying to hug the inner thighs together, I want you to try driving the knees towards the outer edges of the mat, as if you're trying to tear apart this piece of mat that's between the knees. Yeah. All right. Take the hands behind the head. Big breath in, squeeze the glutes, push the hips forward, and then lift the heart. Push the head back into the hands. As you exhale, pull the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, ribs down. Inhale, push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, lift the heart. Exhale, elbows back, lean back. Inhale, hips forward, squeeze the glutes, lift up tall. Exhale, elbows back, lean back, ribs down. Woo, one more like that. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, sit the hips to the heels, hands rest in the lap. So back bending can bring up a lot of buried emotions. So during this time, if you've been stuffing a lot of stuff down, if you've been trying to create only positive vibes, if you've been telling yourself that you have to remain in a good headspace throughout this entire process, let that go. I'm giving you permission to feel whatever it is that's coming up right now. Let's take one more attempt and we'll come into a more traditional variation of Ustrasana. So knees hip width apart again, tear the mat apart between the knees. Take the hands into your back pockets, fingertips pointing towards the floor. Hug the elbows together so the shoulder blades connect on the back body. Inhale, push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Tailbone is aiming towards the backs of your knees. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hips forward, lean back. Inhale, rise up slightly to find more length from the pubic bone through the crown of the head. Exhale, hips forward, elbows squeeze, lean back. Let's do one more. And lean. Inhale to the top. Exhale, release to a seat. Close the eyes. Go inside. When we go through these cycles of life, of change and challenge, birth and death, separation and integration, our breath remains constant from one end of the life cycle to the next. And when we're not breathing, it's easy to shut down, to close ourselves off, to say, I can't feel that. And the more we breathe, the more we open up. And we have to keep leaning into that vulnerability, opening our hearts up over and over again against the challenges and trials and hardships of life. And gently blink the eyes open. Walk yourself out to a tabletop. Tuck the toes and lift the hips back to down dog. Inhale, send the right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Toes turn out to 45 degrees. Start by rocking forward and back on the back toes. Notice how the front of the left hip is feeling. If it's feeling okay, you'll drop the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Take a moment to lift the heart, broaden the collarbones. And then exhale, bend the elbows slightly. Notice if you can drop your right ribs inside the right thigh. If you can get that low, you might bring the right forearm down. You might bring the left forearm down. If forearms to the earth is not accessible for you, you can always bring a stack of books or blocks underneath the elbows here for a good in-between. Take a breath in wherever you are. And with your exhale, let the head hang heavy. Neck gets long, shoulders melt. Inhale, rise to tall arms. Exhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot outside the left hand. Rock forward and back on the back toes. And this side might be different than the last, and that's okay. Our hips are unique to each other. Give yourself what you need rather than forcing yourself to take on something you don't need. An option to drop the back knee. Take a moment, lift the heart. And option to drop the forearms. A couple of deep breaths in whatever your variation of lizard pose looks like today. Drop the head, release neck and shoulders. Inhale, tall arms. And exhale, tuck the toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg goes high. And exhale, downward facing dog. And drop the knees. Cross the ankles behind you. Roll over the feet. And extend the legs long. And reach the arms forward. Palms turn up. Pull the navel back. Slowly roll down to laying on the back. And when you get to that point where you feel like, oh no, I can't control it, I'm just going to flop onto my back, pull the navel back, reach your arms and legs forward, slow yourself down. And as you land on your back, let the head get heavy. Hug the right knee into the chest, right back to where we started this practice. Inhale, reach the right arm out to the right. Exhale, draw the knee across the body to the left. Couple of deep breaths here in the supine twist. Big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Inhale, knee back to center. Exhale, trade it out. Inhale, left arm reaches left. Exhale, knee crosses the body to the right. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Inhale, knee back to center. Exhale, right knee pulls in. Take full happy baby. Catch the outer edges of the feet. Pull down towards the armpits. If holding onto the outer edges of the feet isn't comfortable or accessible, you can take the hands to the backs of the knees and pull down from there instead. If it feels good to rock side to side, give yourself that. Exhale, release, knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins. Inhale, lift the chest to meet the thighs, lift the head to meet the knees. Hold the breath in. Squeeze everything in towards the center line of your body. Make tight toes, tight legs, tight arms, tight fingers, tight core muscles, tight facial muscles. Sip in just a little bit more air at the top. Exhale to your Shavasana. And let the legs go long, let the arms go long. And give yourself permission to ride the waves of transformation through this Shavasana, opening yourself up to whatever comes to you in this time. Take a big breath in through the nose. Wiggle fingers and toes. Drop one ear to the mat and then the other massaging the back of the skull against the floor. On a big breath in, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch. Exhale, knees into the chest. Roll to your right side using the right arm as a cushion for the head. Just like this practice of yoga, being vulnerable, being open, feeling what you're feeling, it's a practice. It means you have to keep trying over and over and over. Opening the heart again and again and again. And gently press the palms down to come up to a comfortable seat. As you land in your comfortable seat, take the hands into heart center. A moment of gratitude just for being here, for making space to be present with yourself. Take the thumbs up to the third eye between the brows. Big breath in through the nose. Offer your exhale to the room. As we bow forward in reverence to each other, together we say, Namaste. Thank you so, so much for sharing your practice and your presence with me today. If you enjoyed this class, please let me know. I would love to hear your feedback, or if there's something else you want to see, if there's some specific issue or body part you want to work with, if there's a specific pose you want to work up towards, let me know. I'm more than happy to accommodate you. I hope to see you again on the mat soon. Until then, namaste.